Hi, my name is Sam Katz, and for this presentation, the object that I picked was my water bottle. I believe it's a 64-ounce water bottle, and the main adjectives I thought when doing this project were that also describe me is the idea of it being big, tall, and sturdy. Despite what the camera might show, I'm 6'6", and I've kind of always been, well, I have always been taller, bigger than anybody else in my class or the average person. I first kind of noticed this. Well, didn't notice. I was pretty much told since the day I was born, even in preschool. One of my best friends who I know from preschool, his mom always loves telling the story about how anytime she'd pick me and him up, she'd always go, "Oh, there's Sam." She could find just because I was even then I was taller than a majority of the kids, and I don't really think there's a lot of situations that work against my self concept, just because I feel like this part of me is at the base level. It's almost like it is in my DNA, where it's just being the height that I am, the size that I am, and just the build that I am. When I think of myself, like in the self concept of the just being that, I always think about my dad and my brother, and I always think of them just because I believe they can relate to me. My dad is 6'4", and my brother is about 6'1", 6'2". So it's just I don't feel uncomfortable with it because there's nothing to I can't really run away from it or change anything about it. But whenever I think of the fact that my brother and and my dad are the same, there's some level of belonging and comfort in that. Obviously, the most important thing to my self concept is my height, and I think in socially it's unavoidable. I always think about even during COVID times, how for so long, for a couple months, we never went outside or just stuff like that. Obviously early on, and then when we finally did go to Costco or grocery shopping, I would just see I forget about the fact that I'm a whole head above a majority of these people, or that when I see my cousins and stuff who are 8 or 5 years old, every time they always go, "Yeah, we love going outside with Sam because if we get lost, we can always find him in a second." So I'd say socially, it's accepted and it's welcomed of the fact that I am the size that I am, but it's still kind of seen as an anomaly. They're still "Oh wow, it's crazy to see," but it's just it just feels weird to me because I'm always "Yeah, this is just average. It's normal for me to see the way that I am," and that I'd always forget about that until I go outside and have to be reminded socially wise that I'm not average in that sense. So in terms of reflected appraisal, it's kind of always been something, like I said earlier, that's been welcomed, especially in sports. I have countless times where football coaches have come up to me trying to recruit me. I even when I was playing basketball, we went to the opposing team's court, and the football coaches there at a private school were trying to recruit me. When I was 14, I was being recruited by a college athlete, and it sucks because it's this football has never been a big part of my life or desire, but it's part of what comes with the idea of being my build or my size. And then I guess for managing my impression online, I don't really do anything online. Mainly other people have said, I don't find any benefit to posting stuff online or sharing my opinions. I just don't. I feel like it's not who I truly am, so I intend to avoid it. All right.